Hello everyone. Now we will be solving the third problem of this contest. A beautiful problem. The problem goes by the name transform binary string using subsequent sort. So this is a greedy based problem and a bit of prefix sum as well. Not that much of a prefix sum, but yeah, that this problem is definitely a greedy problem for sure. So let's read the problem statement and let's try to understand it. So the problem says that you are given a binary string. Binary string means the character contains only 0 or 1s. You are also given an array of string strs where each strs of I has same length as s and consists of characters 0 and 1 and a question mark where question mark can be replaced either by a 0 or by a 1, right? Now you may perform the following operations any number of time. You can choose a subsequence of s and sort the subsequence in descending order, right? Replace the chosen subsequence in S with the sorted sub, keeping all the characters unchanged. You need to return an answer of I, boolean array, where answer of I is true if it's possible to replace all question mark in strs of I with either 0 or 1 and transform S into the resulting string, right? We will take a test case. We will take this test case and try to solve this and understand the problem. So the problem says that you will be given an S. The S in this case looks something like 101 and strs, the whole vector of the strings, looks something like 1 question mark 1 0 1 question mark 1 and 0 question mark 0, right? So 1 question mark 1, then the second one looks like 0 question mark 1 and the third one looks like 0 uh, question mark 0, right? All right. So first things first, you tell me the first greedy thought which comes to your mind is that if the count of number of ones, or let's say let's focus on one thing first. My first claim for the problem even before giving a solution to you is, let's say, the count of 0 plus the count of question mark, if this value is already less than the count of 0 in 1 or in s, then will you be able to convert this string, let's call this string t, into s any given day? I hope no, because let's take example so that it is clear. Let's say this, the array, the same array, 1 question mark 1 was there and initially the s had, let's say had 001. Now you tell me, even if you placed a 0 at this place, there is a still 0 that doesn't have a matching to it, right? Even if you do anything, this case, this won't satisfy the condition, right? That you won't be able to make s equal to t. So s won't be equal to t. So the first condition might be very obvious to you, right? Okay, now let's look at this test case and try to understand the solution of it. So the first, let's take this, let's call this t1 as of now. So 1 question mark 1, right? What can you replace this question mark with to make it s? You don't need to exactly make this into s. You can either then choose a subsequence. We will understand that as well. In this, the first t1, it is pretty basic that 0 1 should be the case and that directly matches to it, right? Let's take a t2 as well. Right now this has 0 question mark 1, a beautiful thought, like, so if you see 0 is already there, you need two ones, right? So there is no point of adding a 0 at this place, right? The string would become 0 1 and 1. Now if you look, this is my t2, right? Let me write it here. My t2 is 0 1 1 and my string s is 101, right? Now you see this 0 should be, or rather sorry, we can convert this subsequence or this string, we can change anything from this s, we can choose any subsequence and then sort it and place it. What does this mean? What we will do, we will pick this and this elements and sort it. What does the sorting does? Sorting will move, a very important point, move all the zeros to the left, right? Yes or no? All the zeros will move to the left. So means the subsequence which you have chosen from that only, not all the character, literally all the characters in the S, right? So let's say you have chosen this subsequence, right? So from this subsequence, 0, 1 will be the final or the changed subsequence. You will pick that and place it as it is, right? So now your S becomes 0, 1 and 1, and now if you look at it, it closely it matches with this, so answer will be true for this as well, right? Now let's look at T3, right? And T3 is 0 question mark 0 and 1 question mark 1, right? And if you look at it, oh sorry, why have I written 1 question mark 1, really sorry for this. uh, so T3 is 0 question mark 0, right? And S is equal to S was equal to 101, right? Now you tell me one thing, this already has two zeros, right? How will you, how will this S be converted to this? It won't be able to happen, right? Because why? Because even if you, bhai, this is very basic thing that you can't convert this S because it has already two zeros, and you, even if you add a 1, you won't be able to make it, right? I need to give an explanation why this is not possible, that 0 question mark 0 and 101 can be made equal, right? This has two ones, this has no places for adding two ones, right? So the answer will be false in this case, right? So till now the test cases or the actual problem would be clear to you, and the first greedy thought would also be clear to you, right? That number of count of 0 in S, if that is greater than count of 0 plus count of this, then the answer is definitely no, right? We haven't encountered this case till now, but yeah, in future we might get a test case which is correlated to this, right? All right. So now let me give you a few thoughts, right? The first thing to notice is whatever the T you form, let's say you had many question marks at any places, right? If you let's say, let's have multiple strings and let's call this as something like this, right? Now if at this position you, let's say you had zeros in T which were in deficit, right? Let me write it in deficit, and you need to add two zeros, right? Where should you place the zeros? Should you place at this place, at this place, or at this place? Tell me, what does your thinking tell you about this? If you are thinking that we should try every possible outcome, then let me tell you that you can do that, right? But that is not necessary, right? Think of this. My claim is you should place all deficit zeros at the earliest, right? Why? Why should you place all the zeros at the earliest? Because let's say whatever my string S has, right? The whatever subsequence I will pick, that subsequence, let's say if my string S had something like this, right? And I pick this subsequence, right? Now, in this subsequence, let's say A, B, C, and they have value zeros and one respectively, right? Now, if they had zeros, then the zeros can be shifted to the left of the string, right? In any given day, you can't, like after sorting, the zeros will have two conditions. After sorting, zeros will have two conditions. What are the two conditions? The two conditions are either the zero remains at the same position, or the zeros go to left of it, right? The zero would never go on the right of side of it, right? Let's say the zero was at index 2, 7, and let's say 9. This was a subsequence, let's say, let me make it a 1 so that it is clear to you, right? If you pick this subsequence and sort it, what will happen? 2, 7 and 9 will have 0, 0 and 1. See how this 0 remained at this 0? This 0 went to the left of the left to its position, right? Means 7. So the string T which you will form, T will have 0 at earliest. Yes or no? Is the proof clear to you? Right? I have given a brief proof of why the greedy solution will work. This is called as exchange arguments, right? Whenever you have a greedy solution to anything, you should definitely have a proof of why that should thing will work, right? We have seen that, hey, zeros can be shifted to the left. It can never be shifted to the right of the string. So you should definitely take care of that the string t, if it has a question mark and we have a zero deficit, then the zero should be placed at the earliest, right? Now if the zero is placed to the earliest, do you agree with me, right? If we place 0 at earliest and everything, every good conditions hold, then we can sort it holds, we can sort it and place it at correct position. This might sound, hey, what are you speaking about, what is a good condition, all of those stuff, right? I will explain to you, right? Let me explain this to you, right? What do I mean by a good condition, right? So let's say my string s had really sorry, my string s had 1 0 0 1 1 0, right? Something like this, right? Now what I'm saying is, count the number of zeros, count zeros, right? We will name, we are in the code I have most probably named it as original or something, yeah, original zeros. So treat it as original zeros, right? Original zeros, right? Now what does original zero mean? How many original zeros which we had in this place? Here it has no original, here it has 1 2 2 2 and 3, right? Now my third claim comes in picture. What is my third claim? My third claim is, let's say you had a target string as well, right? I'm not taking that string as of now, right? I will take an example so that it is clear to you. Don't worry about that. My third claim is, let's say if I had a 0 at this place, right? And I had two zeros at this place, right? But in the original string, let's say it had 0 0 at this place only, right? The target string which we formed, right? You tell me one thing, will I be able to pull, like, move this rather this one, right? If my target had this means it had 2 0 at the first two index only, and s had 2 0 at this places. This means if I make the prefix target, let's call this as target zeros, right? So this will have 1, this will have 2, this will have this, let's say it was 1 here, right? So it will have 2. We are just focusing till this point, right? So if you look, could we make this, at least this subsequence, into this? Yeah, we can, because we will pick up this subsequence, we will sort this, and it will become 0 0 1. Yes or no? So my third claim is, if my target of 0, right, of I at any given point, if it is greater than my original 0, right, original 0 of I, then it is definitely possible, right? When will it not be not possible, right? That means, let's say my s of I, if my, then if my, what I'm saying is, if my original I is greater than target of I, target 0 of I, then I'm saying it's not possible. Hey, how do you say that, right? Let's look at that and let's try to prove it as well, right? Let's try to prove it, right? Let's first see a test case so where it can fail, right? So original, let's call this original, and original had, let's say 0 0 and 1, and the target which we formed had, let's say 1 0 and 0. Now you see, at this point only we have a failure, right? right? Because this 0, even if you pick up any subsequence, this 0 won't leave its place, right? So, and this means, let's say if you pick up this whole subsequence and try to sort it, even then also this will not leave the place, right? So the fact is pretty clear that original of I, if it is greater than target of I, then I won't be able to make it, because 0, we have seen the proof as already, right? Because what I have said, 0 will either stay on the same position or move to the left, right? That was the sole reason why we have created the target of I as well. Target of I, we, if we have thought that, hey, think of this now, let's say this place was a question mark, right? And instead of placing a 0 at this place, let's say you thought of placing a 1, will that be any given day a good idea? No, because you should place a 0 at this place, because any other place, like if even if it had a 1, let's say, and a 0 at, let's say, any infinitely far position, right? And what can you do? You can simply take these two elements as a subsequence and sort it, and 0 will come at this place, right? I hope I'm making sense to you. If not, let me again say this part. Why am I why am I sure that if all the conditions were good, right? What do I mean by good conditions? I hope it is a bit clear to you. The first good condition for me was that count of 0 plus count of question mark, right? If it is greater than equal to count of uh, zeros in S, then only I can say that, hey, we can, right? We definitely have a hope, we can do it, right? Yes, the first good condition was this. The second good condition, we saw that, hey, the count of zeros in S, or the original zeros, right? This should never be greater than the target of S, right? If original 0 had already a 0 0 and the target had a 1 1, right? One can't be, you can't bring any given 0 or any given 1, let's say 1 was here, right? You can't bring this one at this position, right? So this condition is also considered as a bad condition. The opposite to it is considered as a good, right? So that was all for this problem, I guess, right? I was discussing a small thing, if I'm not wrong, really sorry, actually. It's a bit late for me, actually. I had work at office, so got a bit late in recording all of those, right? And now, why am I sure that if the good conditions are hold, this was what I was talking about, really sorry for this, right? Let's say everything is good, right? Let's say it had a 0 at this place, and the this is my original S, right? And let's say my target wanted a uh, let's say it was 1 at this place, right? And my target wanted a 0 at this place, right? What is my greedy thought, or why my solution will always be right, is because if everything holds true, then definitely there will be one more point where the opposite of it holds true, right? That means the S has a 0 and the T has a 1, right? This will definitely be holding, right? Because we have seen the good conditions, that count of zeros and all of those stuff, right? Then what would have been happening internally, because we just need to print yes or no, we don't need to count the number of minimum moves or all of those stuffs, right? So we just need to print yes or no. So what I will do is I will pick this subsequence. If you pick, or rather, sorry, let me delete it. Yeah, so I will pick this element and this element as my subsequence, and I will simply sort them, right? Sorting them, what will it do? This will change the one, really sorry, this one into a 0, and this 0 into a 1. Now you see how beautifully it matches it, yes or no? So this was the whole core logic for the problem. I hope the proofs for you were also clear. If any proof, see, any greedy solution could be challenged, right? So if you think this solution could be challenged, you can definitely do drop. I definitely have given the proofs of why this thing will work. Still, if you think that hey, this won't work, do drop. Why do you think so? And we will definitely have a talk on it, right? So let's look at the solution. So what I did is I created an original zero, right? And I simply created the prefix sum type thing in original zero, right? So if it is zero, then we are incrementing our original zeros, right? And I'm creating a count zero, right? Which is simply the number of zeros in my original array or the string s, right? Now what I will do is I will traverse on every string. I call it t. Zero here means the number of zero in the string t, right? In question means number of question mark. We will simply calculate the number of zeros and number of question marks. See, we are not interested in one. Why? Because if one condition holds that zero is matching correctly, then you don't need to take care of one, right? One will definitely settle itself. Yes or no? Right? Am I making sense to you? If yes, do give a like. Yeah. So the first condition, the good condition, right? If zero here plus question mark, if it is less than count of zeros, right? Or the zero here is definitely greater than count of question mark, both condition holds the same thing, right? So we will say answer dot pushback false. Yes or no? This condition might be clear to you why we are doing so. If not, do ask in the comments. See, any question, any doubt is not good or bad. You just need to ask it, because if you leave one doubt, that might be a case that that same doubt or same kind of stuff comes in your interview one day, right? Or when you're solving a good problem, that is a small part of that problem, right? So you don't hide any doubt, right? You should be always be open to asking doubts to anyone, right? Again, बहुत ज्ञान हो गया भाई. Let's say, so else let's hold see if the second condition holds or not. What is the second condition? We will simply create a target zero. We will see how many difference is there, means count of zero minus zero here, how many zeros more do we need to place at those question marks, and when will we place the zero on the question mark? The number of times it is deficit, right? So this is the deficit we are finding, right? So if it is a question mark, we will place a zero and we will difference clear subtract the deficit, right? Now we will create a target zero as we created for the prefix array, right? And we will simply check if the target zero is zero and all of those. Yeah, I hope you know this, how to find the prefix sum or something. Prefix, we can call this as prefix sum already, right? So we are finding if target of zero is zero, then we are incrementing the value by one, or else we are simply storing the previous value, right? Now we will go from 0 to n. I am creating a flag value as well, right? If original of 0, if it is greater than target of 0 at any given point, then that means you can't do justice to it, right? You can't create a string that is valid, right? So in that case, you will simply convert the flag to 0 and break out of the loop. If flag is 0, really sorry for that. If flag is 0, then you simply push that element in your push false in your answer, else you will push true in your answer, right? And you simply return a true. Let's quickly look at a dry run so that you don't say that hey, you haven't explained anything or so. Let's take this test case and try to understand it, right? Let me quickly give a brief run of how the solution is working, right? We will simply not give an idea, we will simply see uh, what has actually been there, right? So let's first create a really sorry, yeah. So let's first create the string which we called as give me a second, zero here, no original zeros, right? So I'm saying it as oz, right? So the string, uh, first let me write the string s is 1100. So original zero will have zero, number of zeros at this place is 0 0, then a 1, then a 2, right? So this is my original zeros, right? Now let's look at a first case which is 0 0 1 1, right? And let's create the target 0, right? So it is 1 2 0 0, sorry 2 2, right? So at any given point, is my original 0 greater than target 0? No, this is not the case in this case, right? So I'm sure the answer will be yes. Now let's see how the answer will be yes, so that you can have a clarity, right? How will we convert this into this? Simply take the whole subsequence and sort it, right? So taking the whole subsequence and sorting will uh, sorry, take the whole, not that string, we will be taking this string. Really sorry for that, don't dislike the video, man. So yeah, we will take this whole string and sort it, so it will become 0011, right? So this matches exactly this. Great. Let's look at this one, right? The string s is rather t is 1 1 question mark 1, and this s had 1100. Now you look at this has two zeros, right? And this has only, so what I will do, this will have say that hey, the count of 0 in s is 2, and count of 0 in this place is 0, plus the count of question mark is 1, which is less than 2. Then this should return a false, man. So see, the answer for this is false. Yes or no? Yes. Great. Now let's go to this one, right? Let's take 1 question mark 1 question mark, right? Now if you look at the original string had 110 1100, right? Now how many zero deficit are in this case? Definitely 2, right? Because this had 2 question marks, and the number of zero which are missing is 2, so we can place it, thank god. So we will place 1010, right? At the earliest possible, we are placing the zeros. There is no other character to place it as well. Not my not my fault, right? Yeah. So what I'm saying is, now my s has 1100, and the string t which form is 1010, right? Now how will you form this? Great. See, 1 has already matched, you don't take this. 0 is not matched, this place is not matched rather, and see, this place is also not matched. Wow, by the god's grace we will pick this, right, and convert it into 1 1. We will pick this subsequence, let me color it with another value. Yeah, we'll pick this. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so we will pick this one, right, and sort it. Sorting it will convert it into 0 1. So it becomes 1010, and this is 1010. See, this has matched, so I will say a true, right? So I hope the problem's solution was clear to you. Let's quickly look at the time complexity of the problem. So we will have m, let's say we had n strings in my strs. So on every string we are again running a for loop on the size of the string. So the time complexity is big of n into m, right? And we are using two vectors. We are using a vector to store the prefix sum for every string, so that will be causing us n into m as well. The space time complexity is this, and the space complexity is this, right? So I hope the problem solution was well defined or well explained to you by me. If yes, please do give a like, it motivates a lot. Consider subscribing as well, and if you have any doubts, feel free to ask in the comments. See, no doubt is either great or dumb, right? You can definitely have any doubt and ask it, right? Thanks for watching, and let's meet in the next one, and do subscribe as well. Thanks.